Hi guys, welcome to AQ Scribbles. Today's journal prompt is about mindfulness, or more realistically, how to fix your attention span, and today's weather is perfect for that. I decided to journal outside and it just is so peaceful out here. So yeah, back to the video. Do you know that there is actually a way to fix your attention span in a week? I know that sounds unrealistic because once your focus is gone, it's really hard to get it back, and especially in today's world, because that's just how we are now. Distracted, restless, and constantly reaching for our phones. But I fixed it in a week, and I can say that all you need is willpower and consistency. And to make you believe it will work, I want you to scroll back to my short videos on this channel. You'll see a difference, a very obvious difference. The way I used to make content and the way I make it now. There is a shift in patience and in clarity, and in how long I could sit with one idea without rushing it. That didn't happen by accident. The goal here isn't to escape distractions completely, because let's be honest, that's not realistic anymore. The goal is this: to be able to focus even while living in a world full of distractions, to not feel controlled by your phone, to not feel like your mind is constantly running somewhere else. And it starts with something very simple: not forcing focus, but removing what's breaking it. And the first thing I did was make distractions harder to reach, not remove them completely, just harder. And the way I did that was honestly very simple. I used to deliberately keep my phone on minimum charge, and I know that sounds really strange, but think about it. When your phone is about to die, you don't casually pick it up and start scrolling. You hesitate, you think twice. That small pause is enough to break the automatic habit loop, because most of the time we don't scroll consciously, and we don't sit there and decide that yes, I want to waste the next hour. It just happens. You pick up your phone without thinking, and you open an app without realizing, and suddenly time is gone. So what I did was interrupt that pattern for 1 week. That's it. I remember following this consistently, and by the end of that week, something changed. The urge didn't feel as strong anymore, and that loop had broken. And after that, it actually became easier. And no, this is not something you have to do forever. This is just for the beginning. Just to remind your brain that now you are in control. And if you feel like you cannot do that, or your work requires you to be on your phone, then don't remove your phone. Just change how you use it. And this brings me to the second step: using technology the old way. Think about it for a second. Our phones have been around for almost 2 decades now, but the way we used them before was completely different. We used to watch movies, we used to follow series, and we used to sit with one thing for a long time. There was no constant scrolling, no jumping from one video to another every few seconds. And more importantly, it didn't leave us feeling mentally exhausted. And now, compare that to today. Short videos, endless feels, constant stimulation. Your brain doesn't get a break, it gets used to fast rewards, quick entertainment, and slowly, anything that requires patience starts to feel boring. That's not because you're lazy, it's because your brain has been trained that way. So instead of fighting your phone, just use it differently, and start watching longer videos and slower content. Things that actually require you to stay. And it's not about removing entertainment, it's about changing its pace, because you're basically retraining your attention without forcing it. And then comes the most important step. Replacing the habit. Because here's the truth. You can't just remove scrolling and expect your brain to sit quietly, because it won't. It will look for something else, something equally stimulating. So instead of leaving that space empty, you fill it with something better. Something just as engaging, but not harmful. This is what's called dopamine replacement. And for me, that thing was making clay crafts. I would sit in the living room, put something on in the background, and just start creating. No pressure, no expectations, just making something. And recently, I made 2 mini cups out of gypsum, and I still remember this. By the time I finished, I realized I had been sitting there for 3 hours. 3 hours without checking my phone, without feeling restless. And now, just think about it for a second. 3 hours of scrolling versus 3 hours of creating something. Both give you stimulation, but only one leaves you leaving satisfied, and that is the difference. You're not removing dopamine, you are redirecting it. And once your brain experiences that kind of engagement, it starts preferring it, slowly and naturally. Now, I won't lie to you, in the beginning you will feel the urge to go back, you will want to grab your phone, and you will feel that pull. That is normal, because your brain is used to it. But if you stay consistent even for a few days, you'll notice something shifting. The urge, it becomes weaker, and the pause, it becomes longer. Your mind feels quieter, and that's when focus starts coming back. not all at once, but gradually. So if you're someone who feels like your attention span is completely gone, it's not. It's just overstimulated, and you don't fix it by forcing yourself to focus harder. You fix it by changing what your brain is constantly exposed to. So here's your journal prompt for today. What is currently controlling my attention, and what can I change to take it back? Sit with that, write honestly, because awareness is always the first step. And I didn't fix my attention span overnight, and I didn't do anything extreme. Except for the first step, I just made small changes that slowly gave me control again. And if it worked for me, it can work for you too. Take care of yourself and let me know if this video helped. I'll see you in my next video.